Good evening everyone, welcome back to Tom Plays Europa Universalis 4 for absolute beginners. We are back with Great Britain. Still haven't recovered our manpower and I'm already considering attacking people. Holland. Oh, does that mean the truces have run out or something? So I'm fairly sure we had truces or we had claims already. Part of me is wondering whether we might just be better off taking the Isles. One solution to the dilemma between Aragon and Florence, at least. I'm just thinking it probably won't cost us too much in terms of manpower. And we obviously want to do it sometime. And we don't have any allies. I suppose the only problem is if we delay too long with Aragon, our claims are going to run out, but it's not the end of the world, it's just we do have quite a lot of claims right now. And it would be nice to take advantage. Still, you know, if we take on the Isles in force, then we can probably deal with them pretty quickly. Okay, what else? How close are we to getting an army across to the Côte d'Ivoire? Well, can't see the ships anyway. Hopefully they'll arrive at some point. Oh yeah, and I completely got this wrong. This is Sardinia, not Sicily. I said it was Sicily last time. This is Sicily. That's Sardinia, that's Corsica. I should know that. So yeah, apologies if you live there. Okay, well, explorer symbol, explorer ready, so that suggests... Oh right, it was this one. I didn't realise we had 9 ships. Of course, three heavy ships, right. Right, brilliant. So a potential concern about not having manpower. But not to worry, let's just get this done. Yeah, that's fine. All fine. Just wondering whether there was any chance of us vassalising someone, but probably a bit of wishful thinking, really. And we are reasonably full up anyway. Okay, let's improve relations with France. And let's just spin this on a bit. Oh, actually, we don't need to. We're ready. Totally sure where their main navy is, but let us just get this done. So at that point we'll be able to make at least one claim on Norway. How sane or otherwise it would be to actually attack them is another question. But this at least we can do relatively safely. Oh, good grief, that was fast. Okay. Full annexation. There we go. And we have conquered Scotland. And we also have a new pope, so we'll put 5 papal influence into becoming the next one. Start moving our armies back down, although to be fair, no matter whom we attack, we actually probably want to start with Brabant. So sending the army to the wrong place, really. Let's go here. It's obviously going to be a bit of a worry about having uprisings here. Now let's just improve relations with Portugal. Okay, right. Yes, we're fully protected now. We've got 3 colonists, we've got 3 colonial armies. We should be fine. We should be able to take it relatively straightforwardly from here, hopefully. Just really need some manpower. Which I know is entirely my fault. Having started another war. And titles, I am not happy about this idea, but let's just check it anyway. So we can gain some money, upset the clergy, nobility will like it, not keen, or we can do this, we gain admin power, which is more valuable anyway. And at least no one is going to become disloyal because of that. Seriously considering just getting our manpower back. Printing press, right, so we started the printing press, but not exactly moving quickly, are we? We're fine, stop fretting. Okay, what do we need for another claim on Aragon? 50, so we're getting there. Got here, this is Holland. Rivals, that's fine. Are we embargoing our rivals? Well, I think about it, we are not. Which we should be, because it's good for your power projection. So, next time we get a diplomat anyway. In fact, we're about to get one, because we're making our final claim on Aragon. There are other things we can do with our spy network, but at the moment, I'm more interested in claims. Right. So we should have been doing this throughout. Any rivals you can issue an embargo on without any penalties. pretty much always do so, I would say. Unless you have a good reason for not doing so, I suppose. But yeah, that will actually help our power projection a little. It's gone up by 2. Yeah, because it is a bit low at the moment. Okay. Portugal being pretty relentless in their attacks on Africa, which will at least make me feel less bad when we end up turning on them. Okay, expansion ideas, that's good. Global trade power, which will help our money. More importantly, we've got this policy. So we've got decisions and policies again. In fact, we should have an alert for that. So this is apparently our first option. Okay, so I guess we haven't done this before. So we've done decisions before. We actually modified these a bit to make us more effective at converting people, which are still not effective enough. But yeah, the other thing that happens is when you have completed idea groups in their entirety, you can make a, is it a decision? A policy based on 2 of the completed idea groups. So we've only actually completed these 2, but this policy is very valuable. Okay, that's good. So we definitely want this. Global settler increase goes up, so we get more settlers, and the native uprising chance is halved, which we could probably have done with before the Ivory Coast got stomped on. Noble rebels, I'm sure France can handle those. Okay, this is the usual thing, so let's spare no expenses. Looks like Britain is going to handle theirs as well, which is good. We need to make further claims on Castile, so let's take Asturias. Because it just gets us a bit closer to Portugal. I suppose technically Palencia would be more direct, but we're fine. And we're still on 0 manpower. Right. Okay, let us at least do the Commonwealth, because we're not to 1 plus 200. Looks like we did right not to move. Actually, no. Let's do a Conquistador instead, in case we need one. So, Conquistadors and Generals, in general, no pun intended, Conquistadors are not as good. But of course they have the special ability to move into Terra Incognita, so if you're a colonising nation, it's generally a good idea to have at least one, even though they're not going to be as effective as a general. Oh yeah, there wasn't a particularly useful one, was there? Right, brilliant. I think I'm going to be spinning on again. This is going to end up being less eventful than the last one. Okay, oh good grief. Should have paid more attention there. Right, so the Gold Coast colony has finished. That is good. Right, let's make one in Luanda, simply because I want to be able to explore further around Africa. I think what we're going to have to do is have one colonist doing Africa, one doing South America, one doing North America. Except the South American one might end up heading west, because we could do with our own island. that we're not going to lose. The other problem we have is that we're supposed to be colonising up here. And there is as yet no sign of that happening. How is our money? We are gaining money. If we do a little subsidise, so this is what we're planning to do later with our colonial nations. I'm just going to give them 1 ducat a month. That improves their opinion of us. Not something we're that concerned about, really. I'm just thinking maybe it'll give them the push they need to do a bit more colonising. Although we do have a colony going already. Portugal really is going all out. Okay, what else? Claim on Galra. I don't know what's happened there. Oh right, they've taken Zealand. Interesting. Unfortunately, they have some pretty solid allies. Well, they've got Austria, which is solid enough in themselves. I think we finally had recovered our manpower then. We briefly didn't have 0. But, hey, we're back. Right, I'm going to wait for this colony to appear. And then I'm going to realise that we probably don't need quite so many of these. Oh, it's not so bad. Okay, so if we stop there, we have a claim on Galra. Assume we've still got a claim on Brabant. Yes, we have. Okay, brilliant. So move the army across and then we can start exploring again. And we have far too many diplomats sat around doing nothing. We've also gained the ability to... Oh, I see. Okay, so Scottish lands are a little easier to convert. It's good. Let's try and do them all simultaneously. Cost us more money, but I'm thinking while we have the army there, if there is an uprising because of the conversions, then we can send the army in, and we don't have anything that would currently help. Darien is finished, so we don't need to worry about our missionaries suddenly becoming weaker if we lose an advisor or something. Right, so we desperately need to start exploring as soon as we can. So I'm actually going to start just with transports and then make 3 heavy ships. Not sure if we can just exploit transports. I think we can with no DLCs. We might have needed heavy ships otherwise. Oh, I'm sitting in Perth, and Vanessa's got a better supply limit. Okay, fine. That is fine. Let us start exploring again. Found out the awful truth. We really have got to... Right, let's start spying on Norway. I don't know, I might improve relations with Sweden, Pomerania. Improve relations with a few people. A lot of them don't like us very much. So it would not hurt to friendly with the people who might be forming a coalition on us next time. And we can try to get rid of these alerts. Was it hold down shift and right click? Not at all convinced it won't come back, but the seize land alert is useless because it tells us when we can seize land, but not when we should. So if it was an alert that could say, hey, you can seize land with no real negative effects, then I would be a lot more interested. But as it is, there isn't. I think there's an alert for the diet now. Of course, we're still waiting for that colonisation, aren't we? And actually, Darien has finished, so maybe we should even just go colonise it ourselves in the interests of gaining the benefits. If I have too much money, I thoroughly agree. Sir Francis Walsingham, the spy master, isn't he? Private secretary. Is that what we're calling him these days? Right, so we are going to need a ship over there, and unfortunately that's the ship we're using to explore. But it looks like the Cape of Good Hope hasn't been colonised, so that's reassuring. So actually we might want our ships back there, because we could do with looking at South America. And we are finally gaining some manpower back. Okay, Florence likes us better. Slightly ironically, given the last I checked they were still excommunicated, and they're getting on with us well because we're all such good Catholics. Yep, they're still excommunicated. Austria and Portugal. Seriously tempted. Well, we've still got the claims, while they're still our rival, while Austria and Portugal are still willing to join in. I think Portugal, I suppose they could claim there, but they can't clash with any of our claims. Oops. Ah, that's annoying, we can't do anything about that. Colonist got there faster than I expected. So we also gain papal influence for successfully converting people. Oh, this is good. We're starting to make some headway. Right, let us... We're down on, a little down on prestige. We could use diplomatic reputation as well, though. I might do prestige first. Yeah, so it's decaying less quickly. Still decaying, of course. And we may have enough to survive a trip now, at least. Nope, nope, do not do that. Have to watch it. So now, if possible, going to need a third explorer, which I believe is okay, and we will see. Okay, so this isn't good news, or is it good news? Maybe it is. Gelra. Actually, that might be good news. Because the main reason we couldn't attack Gelra and claim this land was because they were allied with Austria. So if Austria are now attacking them, they may be in with a chance. Quite frustrating having the uprising there and not being able to do anything about it. Still. Okay, so we have now claimed Zealand. So I'm not sure why they're attacking. Holy Roman intervention. Yeah, so they are upset about something. I think usually that means they refuse to give land back, so it might be they're trying to get Zealand back for Holland, in which case they're going to be delighted if we take it. Yes, it is part of the Holy Roman Empire, so I mean, it's not something that we need to worry about too much, but if you take land from a member of the Holy Roman Empire, the Emperor can demand you give it back, and if you refuse, we probably have had that, they may attack you. It gives them a casus belli, which allows them to attack. Generally speaking, they don't where we're concerned, because we're terrifying, but Galra, of course, will be much smaller. So what we want to do, if possible, is pull out of the war early and get Galra to give us Zealand. I believe this is still going on. We've got to get there too late. I don't believe we're going to be there in time. And it would appear we were there in time. I am surprised and pleased. Okay, brilliant. So I didn't really want to be doing their job for them, but okay, Florence has got themselves excommunicated again. I mean, how hard is it to improve relations with the Papal States? Come on, Florence. %. How much a war score will we have to do, I wonder, for Galra to consider giving us Zealand? Oh, not a lot. Great, let's do that. I await Austria demanding we give Zealand back any second. So yeah, that's kind of funny, because I think Austria's gone to war with Galra to make them give Zealand back to Holland, and now of course they can't, because we have nicked it. Right, okay, so to my absolute shock, all the lands here have not yet been colonised by Portugal. Which again leaves me wondering where on earth Portugal are. Deeply worrying. Okay, so we really need to look at these lands, and apparently we have a looming disaster. Oh, good grief. Okay, that's not good. And where on earth have our ships gone? Let's get you back to Darien. So again, need to be careful to select Darien and not one of these two. Okay, so I've got very fond memories of this from playing Castile. I think they tied me up for 100 years or something with the Dutch revolt. So I think they have made him a little more reasonable since then. But yeah, I mean, on the plus side, as Great Britain, at least we're close to the Netherlands. I mean, they're kind of connected, whereas when I was playing as Castile and later Spain, they were like, yeah, out on a limb. So yeah, apparently... Oh, drat. Oh well, I'm going to leave him in place anyway. From here it looks like progress is due to them being non-Catholic. I think unrest... So if we can accept Dutch culture, it might help. So that's this screen again. Unfortunately, we've got all the promoted cultures we can have, but we should keep an eye on that. Although Dutch culture isn't an option. Which is odd. The closest I can get is probably Flemish. Would that even work? Or does it have to actually be called Dutch? Well, either way, we will just have to put up with it. Okay, Florence is... Right, Austria would no longer join in. Understandably, that probably goes for Aragon as well. No, it does not go for Aragon as well. That's surprising. Still only have 3,500 manpower. We should definitely crack down on the heresy. Still very worried about what Portugal is doing colonisation wise. We also need to be exploring out west. I'm still seriously wondering about Aragon. I've been going on about this all game. That's fine. We have an army there now. We can deal with attacks. Okay, well the ships are starting to be built. So that's something. We once again have the option to become Defender of the Faith. That would help with our conversions. But I'm not very keen. Okay, let's just have a look at the numbers. Okay, so Aragon at the moment has similar abilities to us. We haven't increased our army sizes for a while. Burgundy is smaller and Siena is very much almost non-existent. But of course we do have France and we do have Portugal. I really think once again I should stop being cowardly and just risk it. Okay, so how about if we go for Minorca as our actual goal? And I'm going to start with Brabant. So we have a claim on Breda. It should help. Who are after here? Oh, Norway. That's fair enough. Okay, so I think that's the... Oh, we've already got a claim here. Okay. Excellent. I'm not saying no to the other claims. Not convinced we will actually be using them, but we can try. Oh, diplomatic reputation. That is well worth having. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm more or less resigning myself to this looming disaster. There probably are ways we could stop it, but I'm not optimistic. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, I shouldn't worry so much. It's obviously going to take our manpower down again, but we've still got France, we've still got Brittany, and Austria and Portugal are... yeah, we shouldn't be in any danger at all. We've lost some sailors, not too worried about loss of sailors as a rule, although we do need to look at our navy again, and our army, and everything else. Considering we probably want to save our money so that we can embrace the printing press and stay ahead of people. Let's just check that there isn't anything cheap that would be very valuable, like maybe 20 or more. Okay, there are a couple, so we'll go for those because they will help. And okay, fortification expert Navarra till the end of the game. Actually, that's probably worth having. We are fine there, that's good. We're full up of military power, which is not so good. Okay, I'm going to build up Antwerp. Might end up regretting this. Actually, thinking about it, we should probably be keeping an eye on the printing press as well, trying to spread that throughout the country. Let's just see. We've managed Oxford, so if we could speed Coventry up, that would be a good thing. Promote culture cost is less, that's good. Right, so we can finally, now that we've got expansion ideas, start working on administrative ideas again. Try and finish that off. It's kind of worth doing because I think the final one gives us cheaper admin tech. And there isn't a huge penalty for falling behind everyone else in admin. Oh, there we go. The Lowlands revolt. This is going to be fun. Well, thankfully Austria's taking on. In fact, let's help Austria, as that's quite an army. So you see the. It would appear that the armies involved in the Lowland revolts are still ridiculously huge. I think it's for historical reasons because they were successful. But I remember with Spain ending up wondering how there were any people still alive in the Netherlands. Right, let's take these out as well. New World Diamonds. Down, but yeah, the these revolts could end up being a serious drawback. They might hold us up a lot. I think I seriously lost like 100 years when I was playing as Spain. Not to worry. Going to keep going. Oh yeah, there we go. Portugal managed to occupy something. So we are also going to need to... Oh no, we're not. Portugal's dealing with these islands for us. So as long as Portugal themselves don't claim them, which I don't think they can. Because we did officially want to take Menorca. put us within striking distance of Sardinia and Tunis. This is good actually. They're looks like we are handily stomping on the enemy. And I think for Burgundy we only really want this one province. Ooh. Oh no, we need 30. Fair enough, I'll leave them in place because I'm still forgetting to keep my diplomats active. Really want conquest against the West Indies anyway. Okay, can't make any claims just yet. But we'll get there. I think we may have to build our armies up if only to quell the lowland uprisings as well. Okay, let's move you to there. Let's try and take somewhere else. That's fine. So maybe I'll have to get some money out of Burgundy as well. It might be worth holding on a little longer. Good. Yeah, even better. Right. So, how are we going to do this? With difficulty, but let's start in Peru, because it's probably the most dangerous area. We do need to discover that area, I think, to land there, and we need to send some ships over. So this will become our South American colonial army. This is the African one, and the one currently in the Caribbean will be the North American one. South American one will also have to do the Pacific. A bunch of things. You see there's a lot of things they're doing here that we really don't care about. I would rather have Breda. Maybe give me that as well. Little risky, but might make it easier to make claims on them in future. How we doing? And it's not too excessive in terms of greed. There we go. Just because we can't make claims when they border France, but now we'll be able to make some direct claims against Burgundy themselves. And thankfully we can still core that. I was worried then for a second, but of course we managed to call down here, didn't we? Great. Now we need to watch this. We have exiled armies of, I think, as soon as we get them onto French soil, that should disappear. Raise the price of coffee, that is fine. Let's keep going with the conversions. But yeah, so it was worth taking that even though we didn't have a claim on it, because now we'll be able to make cause. But I think in some situations, like vassals probably, I don't think we could have made that a cause, so we would have been stuck with it uncored, causing problems with this overextension business. So you do have to be careful, but it looks like a junior partner. We can get away with it, which is good. And the exile has vanished, so that's also good. So let's go and I guess help Burgundy. Apparently France has a claim on Mallorca, that's unusual. Oh yeah, they do border it, don't they? Half tempted to give that to them. Okay. But we have conquered that bit officially, even though Portugal did the work. So hopefully we're on our way. I think we want the most complete defeat of Aragon we can possibly manage. I'm actually wondering if we should just come in and crush the army. It doesn't look like anyone else is going to do it, and I think they're sieging a castle. So just bite the bullets and take the hit to our manpower. That's annoying, they've abandoned the siege. I know they're coming to help, which is appreciated, to be fair. I suppose it's probably better in the long run. Right, well, let's go back and do that siege. Not entirely sure why we're only on 47%. Also not entirely sure why our navy is not taking part here. Well, yeah, let's finish this. Okay, well, I do care, but there's nothing I can do. Got some diplomats back. On a missionary about. This is good. We seem to be making some pretty steady progress here. Counter-Reformation is doing its job. Yep, spare no expense. Let's try and improve conditions. Siege, and we're still only on 79%, which is surprising considering oh, of course. Yeah, completely forgot about Naples, Sardinia and Sicily. Right, okay. Oh, we're suddenly on to 95 though. Not sure how. Did our navy come through and crush them or something? Well, if it didn't, it's going to now. Yeah, I don't want to be mean, but I'd give local concessions. Let's clear that, because I really want Minorca. So you can see that to us. It'll actually cede Mallorca to France, which I don't particularly mind, because at least it doesn't make us look bad. And I think we had these. Did we have a claim on Barcelona? I think we did. And if you can just give me a bit of money as well, that would be appreciated. Thank you very much. But yeah, I'm not particularly keen to give a bit of land to Portugal there. So that means when they're helping in future, they'll still be making claims. No thank you. With apologies to Portugal. Let's just improve relations with you instead. I mean, I appreciate the help and everything, but... Right, so France has a little, like, well, a big island now as well. That's, I hope they appreciate that. But even though we don't get many benefits of them being a junior partner, I'm wondering if it might encourage them to improve their navy, because they now have an island to protect. And also... Alright, yeah, we did take quite a lot of territory there, but we're working on it. Actually, we should probably try to root out corruption a bit. At least maybe a little more. Don't think we're going to be able to do that much. Oh yeah, so this is a problem with the trade embargoes. You have to keep an eye on it, because if someone stops being your rival, you need to... it basically starts costing a lot of money. So we need to revoke it, for which we need a diplomat. But that's fine. It's done. So yeah, this overextension dangerously high, we're going to be having more revolts. Until we've dealt with it, but still, that is not bad, and really should have improved diplomatic reputation before. Might even have allowed us to take more land. Well, to be honest, that's probably all the land we really want to take. So, rebels, that's fine. Looks like Austria's got into a fight with one of them anyway. Let's improve some relations. Make some further claims. Grief, apparently we can claim Madrid. Oh, we can claim Toledo. Okay, well that's tempting. It's a problem at the moment, making claims on Castile, but we don't actually have any colonies anywhere near them. And we are really going to have to colonise down there. And also our colony here has arrived, and I've happily left my ships there. Done. Right. Where is our army? Coalition. Not entirely surprising. So what we want to do is drop the army in Panama. Fine. Walk them across the Darien and then sail them down to the colony, hopefully before the next uprising. Which actually, that's not that unhopeful, because they've got very low aggression and ferocity. Okay, so I think this is coalition number 4. I hope it won't be too bad. I mean, we did take a lot of land, but it was mostly down here. But still, better watch it. That's Norway. I think there's only one claim left in Norway. Faroe Islands. So we can stop building that spy network, and we can start trying to make friends with the Holy Roman Empire, which is apparently going to be difficult. Zealots. Okay. Wonderful. So we're definitely going to have our work cut out for us. I'm more worried about Castile joining in, which they probably will. Right, let's at least start improving relations with Mulhauser, even though it probably seems like a hopeless task. What we're looking at, so this is probably as bad as it gets. Aggressive expansion, 187. Yeah, that's pretty bad. We might actually be looking at an attack here. Castile's joined in as well. This could be very bad. Oh well, never mind. So I will end there and hope for the best. But yeah, so it's going to be like when we took France, I guess. We're going to be back on the diplomacy. I'm actually quite surprised. I mean, I know we took an area there we didn't have a claim on, but I don't think it's part of the Holy Roman Empire. Breda, of course, is, and it hasn't been long since we took Zealand. Thankfully, Aragon hasn't demanded it back. But yeah, I wouldn't have thought all of this would have set the Holy Roman Empire off quite the same. But apparently our aggressive expansion is pretty high, so we're going to have to watch ourselves. And also, while I'm thinking about it, let's bring our ships home. Stop leaving them lying around. So yeah, nonetheless, I think that went pretty well if we can only hold on to those lands. I'm pleased we've started a colony in Peru. There we go. There's Portugal. We've found them. So I think there are 3 colonial regions to worry about down here. Which are there. Yeah. So colonial Peru was the one I was most worried about. I'm also quite worried about colonial Brazil now, but there's also colonial La Plata. So we only really need 1 colony in each of these. But Brazil, we're in danger of getting locked out of. It's a huge area, but they're locking the coast. And if there are no coastal provinces, we can't start a colony very easily. Or possibly at all. So yeah. So we're going to want to make this one in Peru, we're going to want to make one in Brazil, and we're going to want to make one in La Plata. In the meantime, we're going to want to explore, and it looks like Galapagos has not been colonised yet, so we also desperately want that. That's a worry. Okay, so lots to do. Might have to subvert those to South Africa. Not South Africa, South America. And in the meantime, of course, we've got a potentially massive coalition forming that includes Castile. So, going to have our work cut out for us. We have terrible overextension, but at least we are making progress there. So yeah, next time might be quite interesting. So yeah, sorry that was a very slow start, but we have made quite a bit of progress. I really shouldn't have worried as much as I did about attacking Aragon, although perhaps I should have taken a bit less land. So I'm very glad we gave that to France, because that shouldn't have affected our aggressive expansion, I don't think. Certainly not as much. And it will also make France a little more powerful and potentially more useful as a junior partner. So we'll just have to see how it goes. If the coalition starts, we may be able to fight them off, bearing in mind that we're still allies with Portugal, Aragon and the Commonwealth. So in theory, the coalition, if they attack us, all of our allies should join in. And honestly, I mean, with Austria having all of this land and also Bohemia as a junior partner, with how big the Commonwealth is and with Portugal's power in the New World especially, well, South America, we might even be able to fight them off. We'll try anyway. Of course, we also have to worry about these uprisings. So I'm going for being as conciliatory as possible. I don't know if you noticed when I selected it, but I chose to give them 100% autonomy. I think it was Bruges, which is insane. It means we get no benefits from them at all, but it should slowly start to go down. Yeah, and if at any point we gain the ability to promote another culture, we should definitely do so. I think with apologies to Ireland once again, we should probably go for Flemish, just because they're so liable to rise up. Okay, anyway, but I'll leave it there. So it's going to be frantic diplomacy and frantic colonising next time. Should be helped by fulfilling that agenda, because we are quite close now. So with the agenda fulfilled, we should get more settlers, which will help finish our colonies faster. So yeah, trying to deal with the coalition, put down uprisings, get a colony in each of the 3 regions in South America, and also start colonising islands out west. It looks like the Galapagos may not have been colonised yet, so we should try and secure that as soon as we can, probably with this army. And that'll be next time. So a lot to do, none of it involving war, because we need to get our aggressor expansion down. I mean, I know Liege is right on the border, so they're probably the worst example, but 187 is pretty extreme. So we'll see how we do. We might be walking straight into an attack from a coalition. Or we may not. We'll find out. Well, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.